December 5, 2025, began like any other, until a digital shockwave hit just after 10 a.m. News alerts blared, SCOTUS shocks nation 9-0 ruling redefines gun and privacy rights. In a deeply divided era, a unanimous Supreme Court decision on such a hot-button issue was almost unthinkable. The nation paused, stunned as the news rippled from Wall Street to Main Street. Cable news anchors scrambled, legal experts rushed to analyze, and hashtags like SCOTUS920 exploded online. What could unite all 9 justices? How did a case from Colorado spark a seismic shift in American law? United States versus Miller was more than a legal judgment. It was a cultural event, forcing the country to confront the collision of its oldest rights and its newest technologies. Reporters swarmed the Supreme Court steps, cameras fixed on the marble building that had just made history. The decision touched 2 of America's most fiercely debated issues: the right to bear arms and the right to privacy in a digital world. Yet, on this day, the court found common ground, delivering a clear, unified message. The shock was not just the outcome, but the overwhelming consensus. This wasn't just another court case, it felt historic. The story of United States versus Miller was about to unfold, involving an ordinary citizen, a smart firearm, and a fundamental question about digital privacy. The nation leaned in, eager to understand a decision that would shape the future of liberty, law enforcement, and technology. The court had spoken, and everyone was listening. One thing was certain: nothing would be the same. The Supreme Court's decision in United States versus Miller was both simple and profound. In a unanimous ruling, the justices declared that data from personal smart devices, including smart firearms, is protected under the Fourth Amendment. The government can no longer access this digital information without a specific warrant based on probable cause. The court extended the right to privacy from our physical homes to our digital lives, establishing a new legal standard for the digital age. Just because a device is smart and connected doesn't mean you forfeit your constitutional right to privacy. The ruling addressed a gray area that had troubled legal scholars, tech companies, and citizens for years. Americans now have a reasonable expectation of privacy in the totality of their digital records, a major victory for privacy advocates. Law enforcement must now go to a judge and prove probable cause before accessing your smart device data. The decision places a significant check on government surveillance, signaling that digital privacy is a fundamental American principle. This precedent will guide legal battles over technology and privacy for years to come. At the heart of the Miller case was a revolutionary technology: the smart gun. These firearms, equipped with sensors and connectivity, log every action, when they're handled, fired, or moved, and where they are. This data is uploaded to secure servers, creating a comprehensive record of the firearm's history. The case forced the nation to ask, who owns and controls this deeply personal data? The issue extends far beyond firearms. Our phones, watches, cars, and home assistants all collect intimate details of our lives. The legal problem stemmed from the third-party doctrine, which said sharing info with a company meant losing privacy rights. The government argued this should apply to smart device data, since users agree to terms of service. Privacy advocates countered that this doctrine is outdated. Modern life requires using these technologies, and the data is far more revealing. The Miller case brought this conflict to a head. Is digital data fair game for law enforcement, or does it deserve constitutional protection? If the government's argument prevailed, police could access a real-time record of your life without a warrant. The Supreme Court had to decide, do old rules still apply? Or is it time to draw a new line for personal liberty in the digital age? The answer would reshape privacy for everyone. John Miller was a 45-year-old software engineer and father of 2 from suburban Denver. A responsible gun owner, he bought a smart handgun for its safety features, never imagining it would thrust him into a national legal battle. One summer night, Miller used his smart gun to defend his family from armed intruders. He fully cooperated with police, believing he'd acted in self-defense. The case seemed straightforward, until prosecutors subpoenaed the smart gun manufacturer for the device's data log, hoping to challenge his account. Miller and his lawyers were outraged, calling it a massive invasion of privacy and a violation of his Fourth Amendment rights. He lost in local court, where the judge cited the old third-party doctrine. Undeterred, Miller appealed, gaining support from civil liberties and gun rights groups who saw the broader implications. This wasn't just about one man, it was a test case for digital privacy in the modern age. With national attention, Miller's case climbed to the Supreme Court. He became the face of a movement, an ordinary citizen standing up for privacy in a world of pervasive technology. His fight was about more than self-defense. It was about the right to control your own digital life. The stakes were enormous, and the outcome would affect millions. Miller's journey set the stage for a landmark decision. The government argued that data from Miller's smart gun was no different from bank records or phone logs, information held by third parties and accessible with a subpoena. By accepting the manufacturer's terms of service, they claimed Miller had forfeited his Fourth Amendment protection. Prosecutors insisted that such data is vital for solving crimes and that requiring a warrant would hinder investigations. Miller's legal team countered that the third-party doctrine is outdated. Modern devices collect a constant, intimate stream of data, far beyond what the doctrine ever envisioned. They argued that people don't truly voluntarily share this data. It's a byproduct of living in a connected world. Allowing warrantless access, they warned, would create a chilling effect on liberty and turn smart devices into surveillance tools. The choice before the court: adapt the Constitution to protect digital privacy, or let technology erode it. The stakes were nothing less than the future of personal freedom. In a rare display of unity, the Supreme Court sided with John Miller. The unanimous opinion declared that the vast, sensitive data collected by smart devices requires strong Fourth Amendment protection. The justices ruled that individuals maintain a reasonable expectation of privacy in their digital records, even if stored by third parties. The old third-party doctrine, they said, is no longer sufficient in the digital age. Law enforcement can no longer use subpoenas to access comprehensive user data from smart devices. They must obtain a warrant and show probable cause. This restores a critical judicial check on police power in the digital realm. Tech companies now have a legal obligation to resist government requests for user data without a valid warrant. The court's message, collecting data, comes with the responsibility to safeguard constitutional rights. The decision set a new standard for privacy in the 21st century. The Miller decision sent shockwaves through American life, changing the landscape for gun owners, privacy advocates, and tech companies. For gun owners, it was a victory. Smart gun data is now protected by the highest legal standard. The ruling is expected to boost confidence in smart gun technology and its adoption. For personal privacy, the decision marks a turning point. Our digital lives are now recognized as private lives. Everyday people have a constitutional shield protecting data from their phones, cars, and smart devices. Tech companies must now reevaluate their data policies and procedures for law enforcement requests. The ruling encourages privacy-enhancing technologies and positions companies as defenders of user privacy. Law enforcement must adopt more targeted, constitutionally sound investigative methods. The ripple effect: a profound shift toward greater individual liberty in a connected age. Technology must now serve humanity, not the other way around. In the days after the decision, reactions echoed nationwide. Legal experts called it the most significant Fourth Amendment ruling of the century, praising its clarity and foresight. Gun rights groups celebrated a dual victory for the Second and Fourth Amendments, while many gun owners expressed relief and new interest in smart firearms. Law enforcement had mixed reactions. Some worried about slowed investigations, others welcomed clear rules for the digital age. Police departments began adapting their protocols to the new standard. Tech leaders applauded the decision, saying it provided a strong legal framework for protecting user data. For the public, the ruling was empowering. Polls showed broad support for digital privacy. It was a rare moment where the court's voice captured the will of the people. The Miller decision united Americans across divides. The Miller decision settled a major question but opened new ones. Courts must now decide where to draw the line for smaller, more limited data requests. As AI becomes more integrated, will its inferences about us be protected by the Fourth Amendment? The ruling sets a global standard, but creates challenges for international cooperation and data stored abroad. The defense of liberty in a technological age is ongoing. Rights must be constantly re-examined and defended. Judges, citizens, engineers, and policymakers all share this responsibility. The road ahead is uncertain, but the court's unanimous voice in Miller gives us a clear compass. Technology must always serve liberty, never master it.